Hello, and welcome to this free class, How to Show Up for Yourself This Winter. We've got people coming in the Zoom room. This will be replayed on the Embodied Microdosing podcast. If you're not already listening, I'm sharing some really good, rich content on the podcast, inviting you to subscribe if you're a podcaster. Otherwise, this will be replayed inside of the ministry. Beautiful to see you outside there, Chelsea. Thank you for sharing your scenery of winter as a teacher. We're going to be just touching in with the theme for this month and for the upcoming Embodied Microdosing Challenge. Slow down. Slow down. And some of you are like, oh, I'm good there. I'm slowed down. I thought I was here to show up, right? How do I do that? And I want to define slow down for you as we gather, let a few more people in the room, grab our sacraments and prepare for class. Slowing down is about moving with intention. That's how we're defining it here. Okay, slowing down is not about doing nothing. Slowing down is not about being depressed. Slowing down is not about being tired and needing caffeine to speed up. Slowing down is about being in this space of intention. Am I moving with purpose, even as I adjust my velocity? So some of us, I'm in the hypervigilant category, are trying to shut the cabinet door this morning after unloading the dishwasher, but the dish was in the way and I couldn't do it right. And I'm speeding up. I'm noticing how I'm speeding up to accomplish this task. And what is actually happening? I'm jamming things in further. I'm jamming my finger, right? The I want to just be done with this annoying task was speeding me up. So when I stopped, recognized what was happening and the lesson I was preparing for today, took a breath, slowed down, adjusted the thing in the cabinet, shut the door, there was a whole other energy moving within me. Okay, this is what I'm calling you into, the quality of your movement, whether that's unloading the dishwasher, working out, microdosing and setting an intention for the way you get irritated with your partner all day long, right? What literally whatever it is. I'm calling you into intention and quality, and I'm also inviting you to listen. Talk more about listening. Yeah. So speaking of listening, grabbing sacrament of choice, taking it in your hands. Yes, just holding it for a moment here while we gather as a community, imagining other like-minded souls grabbing their sacred bottles of medicine and all of us coming around a fire, a warm, cozy winter fire, a circle, smiling, looking at one another across the circle and saying, yes, we all get it. We all know the magic of the sacred mushroom and these other supportive plant allies. So just thank you. Thank you to the community. Thank you for those who gathered here today. Thank you to the medicines for showing up for us, for being here, for letting us work with you. Remind us not to be abusive. Remind us to come to you with care, respect, and intention. Taking a couple breaths in through the nose. Long exhale from the mouth. And just feeling into your body here, the vessel by which you are receiving the sacrament. In and out. And one more, making your breath your prayer, receiving and giving. And dosing. Into your mouth, holding onto it at your pace. Just asking sacred mushrooms, flowers, and herbs. Thank you for your rich quality of medicine that we get to commune with today. Show us what it looks like and feels like and tastes like and sounds like and the embodiment of slowing down today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Ah, yeah. Noisy exhale, a little movement. What can you circle right now? can you make circles with? Shoulders, neck, wrists, ankles. Circles actually bring us out of freeze. So for those of you who are not as prone to the speeding up, but maybe to the flopping, freezing, becoming immobile around something, circles actually send a really nice cue to the system, right? If you were confronted by a wild animal, would you be going like this? No, circles are safety, right? When we are in survival mode, we are direct. It's either run towards or run away. Circles kind of open us up back to regulated. So just a little tip there for our slow down month. What can you circle? And just continuing that or settling in to listen as I invite you into winter here this month, as we've been doing so far all month long. This invitation that winter gives us to go inward, to consolidate energy. Right. 2 days ago here in Aiken, it was 78 degrees at the height of the day. It was glorious. It was gorgeous. I was wide open. I was barefoot. I was moving around. I went for 3 different walks. Today it was 33 this morning for my walk. I did not want to walk. I wanted to bundle. I wanted to have tea. I wanted to go inward. This is natural. This is normal. Trees actually, I believe their roots, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that roots grow deeper in the wintertime. There is not a total death of nothing happening with the trees, right? There may be branches falling and certainly the leaves have fallen, but I think the roots actually burrow deeper. You can fact check me on that. So healing doesn't stop in winter for nature. There is a slowing, most certainly. It kind of reorganizes. Right? It's like coming around that spiral that we repeat over and over again of the seasons. Winter is reorganizing what's going to happen when the growth begins again. It's integrating what you have done and shown up for in the last 3 seasons. So the nervous system heals in safety, not pressure. Force activates resistance in us, right? What you resist persists. Anyone? Right? I don't want that. I don't like that. No, I don't need that, right? Oh my God, it's getting louder. Yes, hello. This is why acceptance and surrender are so powerful. Allow it to wash over you and to come. Why in a psychedelic journey, you're just a yes to what's showing up. Because when you become a no to what's showing up in a psychedelic journey, what starts to happen? Oh shit, gets real, gets dark. Now I'm running. Now the thing's chasing me. Those mushrooms were tainted, right? Right? Can't tell you how many times I've heard that. I got a batch of bad mushrooms because I freaked out. Like, nope, you did not have set and setting and you ran from what showed up. That's the freak out, right? So being a yes to what's happening, I'm asking you to examine where might you force or avoid in your healing. First coaching question for you. Pop it in a journal, reflect it in your head, or put it in the chat. Where do I show up pressuring myself, berating myself, right? You should have showed up this way. You could have, should and could being little magical keywords to notice here. Where are you doing that now? Be honest with yourself. And what might be different if I chose safety over speed or pressure? I got to be honest with you, I get afraid that I'm going to do nothing. Right? Well, I can't do that. I can't choose safety. Pressure is very helpful shame is very helpful for motivating us to do things, right? It's not all bad. There's perks to pressure, right? I had a teacher who called it trauma drive. And then when you start to heal the trauma, it's like, oh my God, I'm not as motivated at work. first thing I noticed was my house was messier when I started to really heal trauma, because part of my feeling of control was everything has to be exactly where I need it to be or else I'm very uncomfortable. And once I started to be like, I'm a little more comfortable with being uncomfortable, it was like, man, the side porch looks like shit. And it's been weeks. And every day I come out here and I'm like, man, I used to be crazy about this shit. Oh, well, I'm just going to look the other way. It's mildly annoying me, right? And yours might be different. Yours what might be you were more comfortable with messes. And now as you heal, you need more order. But yeah, my side porch looks like shit, right? And I get to go like, that is evidence of healing for me, who used to be like, I can't function because the side porch is messy. Okay. So just noticing how pressure and drive and shame and need for control has motivated you in the past. And what happens, what shifts when you choose safety over speed or pressure or shame? What happens when you choose to be intentional? Shit reorganizes and integrates. So good job being honest here. Moving along. A couple of ways that slowing down, what it can look like. I want practical for you in this ministry. I hate when everything is just esoteric and ideas and philosophy. I want real, tangible, actionable ways for you to shift into healing. Number one, physically slowing down. Where can you bring a physical, slower, actual movement? Remember, slower not meaning slow for everyone. Those of you may move physically slow, but be moving through molasses and feeling stuck. I'm talking about intentional. Who drives the speed limit? Who drives over the speed limit? Who drives under? Yeah, I'm over. About 5 to 10 over at any given moment if I'm checking my speedometer, right? And then I'm not gonna, that's allowed, right? You're allowed to go that much over. Shouldn't really get pulled over at 9 over, right? I've had enough speeding tickets in my younger years at 15 over and 20 over to know, no, that's too much rushing, okay? So a practice for those who drive over the speed limit, can you drive exactly the speed limit and notice your discomfort, right? Even though I got nowhere to be, nobody's waiting for me at the grocery store, right? But so why do I need to have that pushing energy? And what's satisfying about that as I'm driving, notice if you can physically slow down, pull your foot off the gas pedal just a teensy bit and be with. I'm not saying slow down is going to be fun for all of us. Okay, where are you moving faster than your body wants, than your car needs? Take note, right? Mine is like in the shower, like doing hygiene things too. Like that just annoys me. Can we just get past this, right? To more fun things like, hurry up, get it done, right? Some people can really slow down in that. Ooh, this oil feels good. And the steam from the shower, I'm like, right? But this morning I went slow and I oiled slow in preparation for this. And it was mildly annoying, but I also practiced some embodiment and noticed where my hand was touching my skin and the smell of the oil. And I let the sensations and the body, hint, draw me into the slowdown. Well, the mind did what the mind does, because the mind's going to do what the mind does. So challenge yourself. Be specific right now in your journal. What's one thing I can practice slowing down with? One area. When I first started doing this, I cleaned the toilets slowly. And I remember crying. I hate cleaning. I don't want to clean boy urine off toilets slowly. I want it to go quickly, right? But the practice brought me into that discomfort. What's one area, one thing, one way that you can practice physically slowing down right now, today, this week, this month, this winter? When we slow our physical selves down, we have space for more presence, y'all. What happens when we're present? Everything. Access to everything, the different response, right? The shift in thinking, the shift in feeling, the new awareness. Rushing signals danger. Being really hungry signals danger too, for talking about the physical body, right? So yes, intentional intermittent fasting versus I just am annoyed with food and cooking and I don't want to deal with that and I ate a bunch of sugar yesterday, so I'm going to starve myself today. And then I can't figure out why I feel anxious. Your body's literally shooting adrenaline through your system to give you the energy need to go hunt an animal and kill it so you have something to eat. Okay, this is so primal, right? And that protein, y'all know how crazy I am about protein. That protein often gives our nervous system, always gives our nervous system the cue. Okay, we're safe, we're good, we're full, we're satiated. We can focus on other things other than survival, literally. Same with hydration, with minerals. Maybe I'll talk more about salt during this challenge. Your body can only be where you let it arrive. And you have more control over this than you think. Don't let the pace of the world dictate your pace. Move to another lane and slow it down. Okay? That's number one, physically slowing down. Number two, slowing down so you can feel your feelings. No. Emotions are physiological. Okay, we have this idea that like I feel sad in my head. No, no, no. You have a heavy chest and limbs, and the sensations of sadness are actually rising and coursing through your body. It's a mind-body experience. Yeah, and the actual tears that might you allow to come out of your face have cortisol in them because there's this physiological response happening. Okay, and it's necessary. Why the fuck were we created to have this rise of emotion and water squirt out of our face if it didn't serve a function? It absolutely does. It's like pooping. We have to allow feelings, sensations to move. We all have been hearing this lately, at least I have. When allowed to move, it's about 90 seconds. When allowed to move. Okay, so letting that rise, we'll do a quick practice at the end, and we'll just literally sit for 90 seconds so you can see how short it is to allow for 90 seconds. Suppressing it, rushing it, judging it, shaming it, all of that keeps it active and looping and alive in your nervous system, instead of literally getting on the boogie board and throwing yourself towards the wave. Right? Crashing through, letting that ocean of emotion come and then letting the wave pass. Okay, full commitment to the feelings, the sensations, the discomfort. It's uncomfortable, right? Oh my God, there's a lump in my throat and like weird things are happening and now my voice is wobbling and there's other people around, like, whoa, right? You can excuse yourself to go have your 90 seconds too, you know that. And curiously, coaching question here, what feeling am I trying to get past, avoiding, suppressing, or judging? Grief? Rage? And here's one that's under discussed. Disgust. Disgust is a core emotion, a feeling that we are meant to feel. And most of the people in this world are acting out our disgust in the political landscape, right? You're allowed to be disgusted and to feel that. What feeling are you avoiding? I named 3 that are at the core, but there's dozens. What would happen if you stayed with it? Your nervous system thinks you might die, for some of us, right? That not being dramatic, that is the fear of the system. I might die if I felt rage. Mine's rage right now. That one is the most conditioned out of us. There is no place for anger, right? Yes, there is no place for acting out in violence towards other people because you have anger. right? The behavior needs to be teased apart from the emotion. We did not learn how to behave when we felt anger, so we were shamed. There is a video, I believe it's in week 2 of the challenge, the upcoming embodied microdosing challenge. We start on the 16th on Friday. Working with Anger is the name of the video. It's 15 minutes long, and I take you through about 10 techniques. Karate chopping on pillows, twisting things, growling. They all seem kind of silly. And at the end of the video, you have people repeatedly saying, oh my gosh, I feel different now. Okay. Mobilizing anger is absolutely possible to do in a healthy way. What would happen if you stayed? What could it look like for me to process my anger? I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have dreams occasionally where I'm screaming at my mother in the dream. Right? Literally like screaming. Yeah. Something there for me, right? What we allow, we can move. What we can be in, sit in acceptance around, we can move. And when we slow down, we have space for this. Okay, that was number 2, slowing down with feelings. Number 3, slowing down to receive guidance. Do a lot of asking in the spiritual space. Perhaps I'm asking you to ask, set intentions, pray, open up spiritual space. This is all highlighted in the challenge as well for those that are going to walk through it starting on Friday. But do we listen? Are you listening? Right? Asking requires there be a call and response. If we ask, we need to listen. This is why so many of us are triggered by other humans in real life. They don't listen to me, right? They're just waiting for their turn to talk. I'm not seen. And are you actively practicing listening? I do with humans. I don't so much with spiritual support. Oh, I'll listen while I'm doing life. Oh, look, a sign, an animal, right? Oh, that's a fun way to listen. But do you just sit, right? Active listening. And our guidance often comes through sensations, okay? A gut knowing, a tingle, hairs rising on the back of the neck or the arms, right? These are ways that we can be communicated with and listen to the spiritual realm, and which I believe happens through the nervous system. It's like a conduit, as well as through the mycelium in nature. These are the channels by which spirit, source, God, creator speaks to us and through us. So speed kind of drowns out that subtle pulse, right? And when we're slowed down, it's like, oh, I can hear the heartbeat of me and nature and the mushroom and the angels all kind of communicating something. When we go into those larger doses with mushrooms or any other psychedelic, we're tapped into that pulse. And then we think, oh, I have to get back to medicine space to even feel God again. That's the danger. That's why we got people who were on their 500th ayahuasca journey. And it's like, dude, it's not working if you're looking for 501, right? Like they are teaching you how to apply in your own life, how to listen. So where are you asking and not listening back? Be honest with yourself. Where are you asking or wishing or whining or hoping or visioning or wondering or pondering, right? But not listening. This is why we ask the medicine in our prayer, show me, right? Show me what it looks like to choose to slow down. Show me what it feels like to feel my feelings fully for 90 seconds when they rise. Show me what I need to know to listen. Make it your intention. If any of this is foreign that I'm bringing up, if anything here feels like, I don't know, perfect. Ask the mushroom, right? Where am I not listening? I don't even know. How does your body signal truth? Another coaching question for you, another point of curiosity. What are your little spidey senses do when you know, like, yep, that's my hell yes? Right? I got that gut feeling. I got that leaning forward. I've got that chill. I've got that knowing. Everybody's senses are going to do it a little bit different. How do you signal truth? How do you know, boom, source is speaking through me? Okay, so we're not just praying, we are listening. All right, here's how we're going to do it this winter. You ready for the formula? Handing it to you right now. Those of you taking the challenge are going to commit to this. This is what I studied in 2023, 40 participants over 20 weeks. What is the formula? How do we microdose in a way that moves us forward, takes us out of the spinning and the spiraling and the shame and the suppression, and brings us into this presence and acceptance and velocity, however slow it might be, with our healing work? Consistent microdosing practice for a set amount of time. We're going to do 4 weeks for the next challenge. I studied 20 weeks. And in my book, I talk more about the 6 to 12 week window. So no perfect number here, but you pick what is my set amount of time. I'm going to say 4 weeks is a good minimum and 20 is a good maximum, but 12 is really a sweet spot. That's a season, right? 10 to 12. What is my set period of time? You've got to choose what your nervous system can hold. Some people hear 12 weeks and they're like, oh my God, I don't even know what I'm doing next week. I cannot commit to 12 weeks of this, right? Go 4 then. And some people have 4 and they're like, I'm barely getting started at week 4. Go longer. But pick right now, just choose. If you're doing the challenge with us, free for members, $57 for anyone else in the ministry, you're doing 4 weeks. It's a perfect amount of time to get a little velocity and have my full support. Okay, so pick your season. And you're going to consistently microdose with any one of the sacraments offered in the ministry over those 28 days. Now, if you're working with the original sacrament, we know that you can't dose every day. Let's talk about 2 to 5 times a week, though. We really want to push the envelope on the consistency, especially if you're the type that's like, maybe today's a dose day, maybe not. And all of a sudden a week or 2 or 3 goes by and you're not dosing. And then you message me and say, I don't know why, but I'm falling into a black hole and I'm not sure what to do. And are you dosing? No, right? It's never the perfect day. This is why we create a protocol, because it's not about waiting for the perfect day. It's about saying, I am committed to dosing with consistency. So 2 to 5 times a week with the mushroom. If you have Rose Sacrament, I'm going to be working with Rose every day for 28 days. I've never taken it that consistently. And this is a dieta. This is how we just sit with one medicine in communion as a study, right? What does the rose have for me over 28 consecutive days? Amanita can be taken pretty consistently. I'm still studying whether we need breaks. For safety's sake, I say yes, take breaks. But I think anyone here who wants to work with Amanita for 28 consecutive days can absolutely do that during the challenge and during your 4-week window or 6 or 8-week window you're choosing. Okay, so this is about consistency within this window. Okay, that's number 1. We microdose. And then number 2, part of the formula, we practice about 60 minutes per week of embodiment. That's not per day. That's less than 10 minutes per day if you want to break it down. Okay, I set my timer for 10 minutes before I got on this call for you all so I could feel 10 minutes in my body. I sat at my sacred space. I looked at my medicines. I let what called to me. It was lavender and amanita. I dosed both. I burned some sage. I took a couple of breaths. And then I went into maybe about 5 minutes of consistent breath, which we're going to do the pattern I was doing in just a few minutes. And then I sat, maybe my mind wandered a little bit. I think I did some self-touch. I looked at a picture of myself when I was about 2 or 3 years old and talked to her. And then the timer went off. Boom, done. Embodiment. Okay, microdosing, embodiment. This can look like breath work, vagal toning, self-touch, intuitive movement, dance, intentional exercise. I have a new podcast episode that just came out last week with about 1 million ideas for embodiment. But that just means paying attention to your body while you're in your body. And that could mean laying down perfectly still and paying attention to your body. This isn't just movement. Okay? What happens when I'm still? Slow. Couple more questions and then let's drop into some breath. What commitment feels supportive for you? What amount of time? I breezed through that embodiment piece, but that's the key. I've got plenty of people that say, oh yeah, I'll dose 4 or 5 days a week. That's the fun part, right? And then it's all this shit is coming up. I can't stop crying. What do I do? That's why we have the embodiment. That's why we have the breath work. That's why we move the energy that comes up and that shifts and that shows up when we are in the regular practice of microdosing with any of the sacraments. They are medicines for each other. They are complements to each other. They create a full formula when put together. Plenty of microdosing protocols out there you can do where you just microdose. Great, wonderful. Great for focus, great for, I don't know, performance enhancement, right? All these sort of like all the ways that the billionaires and the entrepreneurs use it. Amazing. That's what drew me to it. I heard most self-made millionaires microdose. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to do that, right? That was one of the things that came up. And the embodiment piece came in for me when it was like, this isn't like all butterflies and rainbows here. This isn't super fun. Shit's getting real. All of a sudden, like I'm having to face stuff. That's why we move the energy. That's why we show up for the embodiment piece. And really, that's how we move the healing through the system and make this method more about healing and less about performance enhancement. Nothing wrong with that. I love a good focused work session after microdosing, but this method is designed specifically for healing. And that's what the book focuses on when it publishes, hopefully soon. So for you, what's the commitment you're making here? What feels supportive? Write it down, pop it in the chat. How many weeks? And what does that embodiment piece look like for you? This is the hard part. If you're joining us in the challenge, you'll constantly see people saying, okay, I'm not doing my embodiment, and it shows, right? Nothing's coming through, or a whole bunch of stuff's coming through and I can't deal with it. And now I'm avoiding and overeating and scrolling and going back into my coping mechanisms. What commitment feels supportive for you? And what is this consistency going to do for you? Most people are not great at being super consistent with a new intention. There's our like 5% of crazy type A people. Put my husband in this category. I totally want to punch him when he's like, tomorrow morning, I'm going to start doing this 100 times every morning. And then he just wakes up every day and does it. And I'm like, I hate you, right? Like, it's such a struggle for me. Like, right, no, I said I was going to do that, right? We're not all built type A like that, right? And the flip side of that coin is that he struggles to then let go of something that's no longer serving him because I said I would do it every day, and the OCD is controlling that, right? There's a bondage to that too, right? And there's a bondage to like being in chaos all the time too. So how can we come to this more middle nuanced place with showing up for ourselves where we can forgive the day we forgot or skipped it and come right back to, I'm going to show up for myself again. I'm going to keep the promise that I made to myself. This is how we build trust. Do not write down that you're going to do some crazy shit. I'm going to do breath work every day for 15 minutes and not miss one day, knowing that that might be hard for you, right? You break trust when you don't show up for what you said you were going to show up for. So this is why we microdose. This is why we do 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 2 minutes. Start with 1 minute a day of embodiment. I used to just do my 10 breaths. Can count them on my finger. Breath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And by breath 3, I was annoyed. When is this over? Right? This is how we detox the need for dopamine and build that trust and ability to stay with what's uncomfortable, annoying, boring, not fun. We're going to do some breaths in just 1 minute. Let me make sure I asked you the questions I want to ask you. Okay. Drop in for about 5 minutes. I want to formally invite you to join us inside of the challenge. We usually have a lot of fun. There's a nice sized group. We all get to know each other. It's in a separate section on Mighty, and we do spend 4 weeks. You get 3 prompts per week, encouraging you to answer them. What is my intention? Remember this, we're not just microdosing and practicing embodiment and going like, well, I hope something heals, right? You are setting a very specific intention, and you're speaking and saying and sharing and showing up for that same intention every day. So maybe the intention is, show me what it looks like to become consistent with this practice. Show me what it looks like to show up for myself and build trust, right? We don't have to pick. People are always wanting to pick this fancy thing in the future. I have to figure out my 10-year vision for myself, but I can't actually wake up and show up for myself. No, right now, whatever's in your way.
Right. I love the sunshine.
Just make sure you're muted. Whatever is in the way right now, whatever's in your way right now, that's what your intention is. Okay? Consistency, slowing down, allowing feelings, connecting with myself, developing a spiritual practice, finding presence, dropping into acceptance, surrendering to what is, setting boundaries, knowing what my no is, knowing what my yes is. These are all the kinds of intentions that are generative and are going to support all of the other things with jobs and relationships and other aspects of life that you're wanting to figure out. Your relationship with yourself, the medicine, and your creator is the juiciest possible thing you could focus on if you want to create healing in your life. So let's breathe. There's going to be no music here. I'm going to give you a counting pattern, and I'm going to count with you. Those of you that have been with me for a while know I used to be like, no, you don't have to count. And lately I've been finding that counting can be helpful for me and for some of you. So we'll start by counting, and then I'll let go and either let you count or just find the general rhythm of this breath in your body just for a couple of minutes. It's going to look and sound like this. Inhaling through the nose for the count of 4. Holding at the top for a count of 4. And exhaling through pursed lips for a count of 8. So it's a slow exhale. It's in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That exhales through the mouth. In through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's what it's going to be. Feel that in your body. You can continue it if you like, but we're just going to make it a mini drop-in session here for about 3 minutes to show you it is possible to drop into embodiment. It is possible to sit with yourself for 90 seconds, which we will also do. So beginning by just noticing your body right where it is, right here, right now, setting down any distractions. Just feeling your heart beating in your chest. Your feet and legs just as they are. Maybe sending out some wintertime roots, as if you are a tree. Your legs, your feet, your bottom, all of them the place on fertile soil where the roots of the tree of you are actually burrowing down deeper this winter, allowing you to get more solid in you. Yeah, that's it. Feeling those roots connect down, and then feeling that your upper body, your heart, your throat, your head, the top of your head moving up as if the tree is growing up. There you go. Connecting up to source, God, creator, universe, whatever you believe, and just feeling that tug down and the pull up. Yeah, and how you are just, you're the conduit between heaven and earth. Beautiful. And from this place, we're just going to ask Creator Source, sacred mushrooms, plants and flowers, the sacraments we work with, show us how to use our breath and our body to slow down and be intentional this winter. As we begin this breath pattern, in through the nose, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale from the mouth, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. In through the nose, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slow from the mouth, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just continuing this pattern, you can count yourself or let go of the numbers and just feel the pattern in your body, intuiting when it's time to inhale, when it's time to hold, and when it's time to let go and exhale from the mouth. Long and slow. That's it. Keep that going. Just like that. Yes, if your body wants to move with the breath, you can do that. If your nervous system and your brain are doing what they do and wanting to speed up or be distracted or think of other fun things, you can just acknowledge that. Oh, look. Yeah, I'm doing what I do. That's okay. Would you like to breathe with me? Inviting that part. Come breathe with me. That's it. And then coming into another round, just 2 or 3 more rounds. You're almost there. Almost there. Beautiful. One more. Feeling it in your body, that air, that movement, that slow exhale. And when you're done, just stopping all effort and noticing what's here. No judgment, just curiosity. As we move into 90 seconds of acceptance here, you can hold your breath, you can sit in stillness, practicing 90 seconds. I'll stop talking, and you have an opportunity to feel into your relationship with yourself and your emotions and what is asking you to see and be felt. About 30 seconds left here. Making contact with the part of you that wants a healing this winter. Giving yourself permission next time you feel to let the energy flow. And taking a final closing breath on this drop in, maybe that same pattern, maybe whatever breath your body needs. Big sigh, little noise on exhale, and then a quick swipe from the top of your head, if it would feel good. Just running your hands, swiping off like you're brushing dirt or sand or washing soap off in the shower. Yeah, all the way down your body. That's it. Anything that is not meant to come into this intentional winter microdosing season for you, asking it to be released. That's it. I release you, I release you, I release you down the chest, the arms, the body. There you go. Beautiful. Nice work today. Taking these questions, the notes you took, the things that popped up as curious or something to meditate on, asking you to bring that, integrate that into your practices in the coming days. Please consider joining us for the Embodied Microdosing Winter Challenge starting on Friday. Each new module drops each week on a Friday, so you have the weekend to watch the coaching videos and to drop into some of the embodiment practices that are offered. There are 4 or 5 practices each week that we highlight inside the challenge. This is free for members at $49 a month. I would be so honored to have you in the membership, and $57 for everyone else. In the meantime, leaving the chat open here for a minute to see if anybody has anything to share. And thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourself, for your body, for your emotions, for your spirit, for your relationship with God and yourself. It matters. It means something. It sets something in motion. Big blessings.